Hi guys, in my previous video, the Knox report on AVCT, I told you that I was going to be doing a few videos and separating them. This one I think is very important because I am calling the FUD out on AVCT that one person in particular is spending a lot of time doing, and I've been getting a lot of inbox messages regarding it. And guys, I have nothing against Ramen Soup, who I am going to be showing you tweets from. I have nothing against any short or long, no matter what they say, honestly. And I like to hear both sides of it. I think a smart investor is open to all sides of it, and they call them out and they ask questions. So I'm showing you this not to say anything bad about Ramen or anybody else calling, that are saying things that I do not believe to be true. And I'm doing this to show you guys that, it's important to listen to both sides, number one, and number two, how to handle it when you're getting a lot of, questions, or, if you're seeing things, what to say. If, you've done your DD, you're confident in where you stand, how do you handle it, and how do you respond, and how do you get them to acknowledge, not necessarily that you're right, but either to show you that you're wrong or to prove to you that you are right. So let's get into it. Without further ado, please remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Always do your own DD. And again, please do not give Ramen any backlash for what he tweeted, guys, because we want to hear both sides as smart investors. And despite the fact that he may have been wrong about this and some other things, it doesn't mean that he's always wrong. And in fact, he's quite right about Hudson Bay. So that I will agree with. So let's get. Okay, guys, I have been very clear from the beginning that there are warrants at $1, which is why that's my initial price target for this, unless we get, of course, news of a buyout. And the reason for that is because once it holds $1 for however many days it needs to, a lot of times it's 10 days. I'm not sure in this situation what it is. The $1 warrants can be exercised. Again, I've not looked into the number of days. If anyone has and they want to comment below, I'd greatly appreciate that. But this is the tweet that this is from. And just so you know that he's not wrong about warrants at $1. That is factual. And I've been very clear with people on that. But here's what I don't like. AVCT short call is at 35 cents. Dilution play from Hudson Bay, like BBIG. They pump the stock, then they go short to secure a profit spot and wait until the bottom to cover their short with warrant exercise. Extra money for the crooks. If a miracle happens to 45, slam on puts. Now, guys, it's very clear from the start of this tweet that, like many of us, we have been burned by Hudson Bay and what they've done with BBIG. However, this is a completely different play from BBIG. And hate to say it, but with all the FUD that's happened in BBIG, I wish I saw it sooner, because I would have agreed that it deserved to be brought down the way it has. And that doesn't mean that I don't hope it recovers, because I certainly do. I still have a position, albeit I sold a lot of it at a loss because it wasn't worth holding through this. And hopefully that'll change, and hopefully I'll go back in long again and be able to run it out and make my money back. But until I see the changes, I'm not even interested. But I just wanted to give you that background, because I really feel that, like many of us, Ramen is probably scorned by what happened with BBIG. So I responded, the stock must hit $1 for them to exercise their warrants. Ramen says, not true. Hudson always goes cashless. If they're exercised right now, they can get something like 1 share per 3 warrants. They don't need to hit exercise price to cash out. What's missing is whether there's a documented history of it here. First of all, guys, that is 100% false. They absolutely cannot cash out those warrants unless they go to AVCT and say, hey, we'd like to cash in our warrants at a cheaper price. Can we make an agreement, that we get less, but to do it at a lesser price? There's no filing showing that. So they haven't done that. There's no signs that AVCT has agreed to do that. So I'm not quite sure why this is being put out there. So here's what I say. Without any documentation saying they can do it. Oh, wait, did I miss something? Oh, no, I said that. There's a documented history of it here. And then he shows this scale, and there is no documented history here, guys. This is the warrant scale showing that they can cash out warrants at $1. And yes, they can. But that's known. That's not something new. There's nothing less than $1. There's warrants at $1, $1.50, and I think it's $11.50 that are like warrants that you or I would have, not private funding deals. Now, without any documentation saying they can do it with AVCT, then it's pure speculation. If it's in writing, please share it. So I'm nicely asking, where's your proof? Show it to me, because guys, I'm first to admit, I'm not a brain when it comes to warrants. In fact, I hate them. You know, I don't know enough about them, and they tend to really kill plays when you don't. So, you know, it's something I'm working on, and I'm trying to ask questions to grow that and make myself more educated in warrants, because the only way you grow as a trader is if you learn, and you learn from your mistakes, right? And you don't let them happen again. So, of course, I'm curious. So he says, sure, I'll dig it up. Thanks. I'm willing to admit I suck at warrants and haven't seen anything on this. So would love to learn if I'm missing something. Very true. And here's what we get back. Hang on, I got to blow this up more. Okay, guys. So he says, no evidence found. There's a mix of warrants and notes to sort out. Hudson came in February of 2022 and went long 9.9%. Notes and warrants they show as February 2022 warrants on the 10K. They didn't exercise any from February to June. After that, unknown at this point. No proof yet. Guys, that's because there's no agreement with AVCT for them to cash out any warrants under $1. Okay? So I've just been getting so many inbox messages on this and concerns about, you know, why are people shorting this stock at 45 cents? If, you know, this happens, blah, 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 they're going to execute warrants. No, guys, they can't cash out warrants until at first this hits $1. And guys, usually it has to hold $1, like I said, for a period of 10 days. I have to go back and look at the warrant agreement and find what exactly it is, and I absolutely stink at it. I hate them. I don't feel good. It's the last thing I want to do. Again, my first goal in this stock is $1 unless the buyout news comes and they do whatever they need to do to pay off these warrants or whatever else in this whole agreement, which I'm hoping happens. And there's rumor and speculation, guys, that October 1st is this date. Again, it's rumor and speculation. You can do your DD and you'll see exactly why people are saying that. But as far as the warrants go, I want to make perfectly clear that they can, the smallest amount as it stands, unless a filing changes that, which there's no filing that has, they cannot cash those warrants out until they hit $1. So please, please, please do not get tricked by people spreading misinformation that purely is speculative based on what Hudson has done in other plays. Because, guys, this is a whole different ballpark. And honestly, I don't see it being in AVCT's best interest to allow them to exercise them for less, unless, of course, they make an agreement to pay off the warrants or do something similar to what they did with ribbons to get rid of them. That's what I think might happen with these, personally. And then the stock will really rip if they get rid of the warrants, right? So anyways, just thought I'd bring that to your attention and clear up the issues. Again, please, no disrespect meant to Raman, because I have nothing against him or anybody else. And I just wanted to clarify this because of the amount of questions I've been getting regarding it. And also, guys, you know, to show you, you can be respectable to people spreading FUD. You can learn from them as well, because, you know, obviously, yeah, he's pissed about what happened with BBIG. So am I. So am a lot of us. Okay. You know, it stinks. Does that mean that BBIG is a horrible company? I don't know. I'm undecided. Do I hope it's going to have another run? Do I think it's going to have another run? Yeah, I think so. I think hopefully the court situation will help that company. But again, AVCT is not BBIG, and people need to be aware of that. And you know what, guys? I just know that it's important to know what Hudson's capable of and keep that in the back of your mind. There is nothing wrong with that, but it's not fair to say that the two companies are the same and they're going to do the same exact thing, because I just don't see that happening. What I see more than likely is if there really is already an offer for a buyout on the table, like people are speculating, that they're more likely to, that AVCT is more likely to buy back those warrants. And that may be at a lesser price. That's possible, but that's between them and meaning AVCT and Hudson Bay and whoever. Well, we know there's a list of companies that they have warrants with. There's a chart on that, guys. I did put it up on my Twitter. You might have to search back under AVCT to find it, but guys, and actually this chart up here that he has, I think gives you that same detail where you can see $1 and $1.50 are those first targets. And I do believe that if AVCT makes an agreement to buy back those warrants from Hudson prior to this merger, that, or acquisition or whatever the case may be, prior to them selling the company, if that's indeed what happens, then that'll be very bullish for this stock. And I don't believe it's something that's going to add more shares or anything like that. So just thought I'd throw that out there and hope you guys learned something from it. And please know that in investing, we don't know everything about everything. Nobody does. I don't care how long you've been doing it. I mean, I've been in the market for 20 years, guys, and I'm the first to tell you, I don't know everything about everything. In fact, for a lot of that time, I let other people handle a good majority of my money. And guys, you have to know what you don't know too. And sometimes that's really hard to admit. We all like to think that we may know more than we do. But if you can admit your faults and you're not 100% knowledgeable on everything in every aspect of the market, guys, there's a lot to know. But if you can be open to that, and if you can actually open your mind to listen to what shorts are saying to you, sometimes they're right on point. Other times they're trying to stir the pot. Other times their personal issues may be coming at play. But you kind of have to wean that out. But you should also take the opportunity to learn from them, because I do believe that there's an opportunity to truly learn from them if you open your mind to it. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I will do one more video at some point today, giving you an update where AVCT stands technically and that sort of stuff, and with Fintel. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your Sunday.